Okay, Teacher Think here, and I'd like to talk today about why you should get your child a credit card. And I am totally serious about that. It's something that is free for you and could be worth a couple $100,000 to your child for just nothing, really. Nothing at all. And what I'm talking about is to get a credit card for your child when he or she is just absurdly young to have a credit card. So you can get them pretty much any time, as long as you have like a joint thing going on the credit card. And the value of it is that they get a credit history and a good payment history. So when they get out of college, they may want to buy a condo or a house or a duplex or something, and the first thing they'll hear from the bank is that it's hard because you don't have any credit. You've got a job, you've established that, and you've got a down payment, but you don't have any credit. And what they mean is you've got no history of having made payments or that you've been responsible about credit. So it makes it harder for them, and it makes it harder for them to give them the best interest rate. And that's where the profit, that's where the $200,000 comes in. But getting a credit card for your child is pretty easy. Okay, now this website here I'm about to show you is, how young is too young for a kid to have a credit card. And that kid looks pretty darned young to have a credit card, and yeah, that young or younger. Now their emphasis in this website is that it's a tool to teach financial responsibility. I'd actually like to focus really on the credit worthiness aspect of this, because that can, using it as a teaching tool can be kind of a hassle with a credit card. Let's go down to the end and talk about what they say. You might say something like, "We're going to give you an allowance for these chores. You can use that money." And then it says closely monitor those purchases, and that sounds like kind of a pain in the neck. What I'm talking about is you get them a credit card, and you will have, where does it say? You will make that child an authorized user, okay? An authorized user of the credit card. But don't give him the credit card. You keep it. Don't even let him have it, And what you do is you pay for maybe one thing a month on that credit card, and then pay for it, something that you would have bought anyway. Groceries. One good thing could just be like some recurring thing like Netflix or whatever. Just have it go to that credit card, and then set it up on auto pay. Try to get a credit card that does auto pay so that you don't forget, and then that ruins the entire purpose of it. And auto pay, not just the minimum payment auto pay, but auto pays the whole thing, which they're doing now, which is great, because of course, at first they never had auto pay, so then if you forget, you have to pay and everything. Then they did auto pay, but only for the minimum amount, and now they're doing it so they'll pay the full amount if you auto pay it. Anyway, authorized user, they're an authorized user, and you use it for something that you're going to be spending money on anyway. Then they will, as it says right here, they will start building their own credit history. Okay? And that works even if the kid is an authorized user and it's not his own credit card. He can't get a credit card until he's 18 on his own, as in make his own application and get his own credit card. He can only be an authorized user up at that point. And of course the danger is that they go out and they spend lots of money or something, and you don't know about it, but that's why you don't give it to them. You just keep it on a shelf or in your wallet or just in an envelope someplace, and then just do one little purchase a month and pay for it. And what will happen is they'll have years and years and years of excellent credit when they want to go buy that first house. Now, by contrast, with debit cards, this is really important actually. While debit cards, prepaid cards, and peer-to-peer payment apps may seem like better and less risky payment options, they don't help build a credit history. They don't help build a credit history. But a credit card as an authorized user will build their credit history. Okay, so where's this $200,000 coming in? When they're buying a house, if they can get 1/4% or 0.5% off in their mortgage, then over time that will add up to a huge amount of money. It will mean their equity builds faster, which puts them in a better position to get another house later on, which means their overall position is growing all the time as prices rise, and that can actually, in the long run, turn out to be more than $200,000, starting out with good credit. All because of mom and dad planning ahead. Okay. Now, if you want to take the next step up, you could get a bank account for them, and that way you pay through that bank account. Right now it doesn't matter, but the credit card companies sometimes change their rules about credit history and stuff, and they may be, you never know if in the future they'll say, well, was the child paying for it or was this paid for by somebody else? I kind of doubt that'll happen, but if you want to go one more step, what you can do is, I think right here, this is the best thing, a custodial account. It's better than a joint account. Same reason that it's dangerous to be sharing a credit card, because they could at some point go hog wild with a joint account, and you'll be on the hook for it. But a custodial account is different. Notice the key, okay? It's for minors that are not involved in the money management, okay? But it's still under their name. So that might be the way to go for that. And then I just sort of threw this in here because if you really, really want to go hog wild with this, you could set up an index fund account with them. That's the best way to make money in the stock market in the long run. And I picked this one out. This is the I just missed it. FXAIX over here. That's the ticker name for it. This one, a minor can own it. Okay, and it has no minimum that you need to put in, so you don't need $3,000 or something to put in, and you can make contributions of any kind, and you can just see how if you started out in $10,000 in 2011, you'd have now $35,000 10 years later. So that's a good thing, but I am saying this just in case you really want to go the distance on something like that, because I think you're going to have to fill out a tax return, and that's probably too much hassle, because if they have $30 in this account, that's a nice thing to be teaching and stuff, but filling out a 1040, for those dividends, they're always going to want. I was saying, if it's below a certain amount, will they not worry about it? And the thing is, they always worry about dividends. They're going to want to know everything, and that might just not be worth it, unless you can just sort of wrap it in. If you've got somebody who does your taxes, maybe they'll just sort of wrap something simple like that in with everything else. I don't know, but you may not want to. And the other thing is, I just wanted to throw this in because I didn't learn anything. I wish schools would teach more about money, because I didn't know anything about money at all until after I graduated from college. And they make some weak attempts at school to, they teach you like what a deposit and a withdrawal is, and then we kind of make it too hard, and it's not that useful anymore because you do it all electronically, and they're trying, but that's sort of like the last remnant of home economics. They should, but if at some appropriate point you want your high school student to be learning about this stuff, or even for yourself, this is the book that I read right after high school, Investing for Dummies, and it just teaches you all the basics about investing in mutual funds and real estate and everything, and it taught me a lot. It was certainly well worth the money. That's if you really want to go for it. At the right age, but you might even want to do it for yourself, because a lot of people were never told anything about money and still don't know, and are kind of uncomfortable with it, and that will make you very comfortable with it. Anyway, so just to review, yes, I think it's a great idea to get a credit card. I think it's one of the best things you can do for your child. Keep it from them. It's not in their hands. You don't have to bother with any of that. Nice and simple. Put Netflix on auto pay, and they will have years of great credit that will definitely benefit them. in the future. So I hope that's helpful to you, and we will see you next time.